Hey there, boils and ghouls. It's your friend Tats, and I'm back with another 4K Blu-ray review. And honestly, I never thought I'd be doing this, but I'm going to be reviewing two Wes Craven Blu-rays in one or 4K Blu-rays in one day. A little while ago, I just posted my 4K Blu-ray review on the Arrow release of The Hills Have Eyes, and now, unfortunately, I just now getting around to it. We are going to be reviewing 1990, is it 1996's Scream. And unfortunately, like I said, this is a video I've been hoping I was going to make like 2 weeks ago. But what ended up happening, apparently, I think, was that as soon as this came out on 4K, I screwed up, folks. I didn't pre-order it. I thought that my local record store was going to carry it. And so I thought, well, I don't really need to pre-order. I could just wait, go down there, pick it up, and bada bing, bada boom. And it came out, and pretty much it went out of stock immediately. And I went down to my local record store to try to check it out, and it wasn't there. Looked around, couldn't find it anywhere. And finally today, I was actually able to score a copy of it. And I'm very glad that I did. I'm just so sorry that it took so long to get a video of it up. But here we go. Wes Craven's 1996 Scream. The late great Wes Craven, may he rest in peace. I'm a huge Wes Craven fan. I love just about all of his movies. And yeah, this is the movie that pretty much back in 1996, horror movies were kind of on their way out. They just weren't doing very well. There just didn't seem to be any interest in them, especially slasher movies. By this time, like you had all the slasher movies, just a glut of them in the 80s, and by this time, pretty much they were on their way out, and just nobody cared about them anymore. And then Wes Craven made this little gem, written by Kevin Williamson, and just all of a sudden, boom, you know, scary movies were back in fashion. This movie was a huge blockbuster hit, and I think until the 2018 Halloween, I think this, for the longest time, held the title as the biggest money-making horror movie of all time, I think. So, but anyway, now we got it on beautiful 4K, and on the upside, it looks fantastic. I really appreciate it. I love it. It looks good. One thing also too, I'm very happy about is they import the bonus features over from the Blu-ray. There is one downside though. I do have this. I have the Scream 5 film set. I'm still going to have to hang on to this for quite a while at least. And I really don't see myself getting rid of this at all, to be honest with you. Not so much because I need the Blu-ray, but also because you have Scream 2 and Scream 3. And now while we got Scream on 4K, there's no telling how long it's going to take before we get 2, 3, and 4 on 4K. That may be a long time in coming. But also, too, we have the two documentary type films here. We have Still Screaming and Scream the Inside Stories. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to be hanging on to this for quite a while. Possibly forever, or at least until I go. But anyway, though, here we go. We got the first movie, and what did I think? I think, honestly, it looks amazing on 4K. I don't know how many people are going to agree with me, but this is, it looks fantastic in 4K. I think it looks really great, but, you're a 4K collector. You know the deal. It's like usually what happens on 4K is what they do is they kind of bring down a lot of the brighter colors and kind of amp up more of the darker colors. And in a situation like this, like I said, I don't know how many people are going to agree with me on this, but they kind of take this movie, which is a very 90s film. It's very colorful. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very sleek looking. It looks very polished. And, it's a very beautifully shot film. It's a gorgeously shot film. And, like I said, it's very brightly lit. And by taking down some of the brighter colors and kind of amping up the darker colors, maybe it's just me, but it kind of almost gives this movie a vibe of more of like the feeling of like an 80s slasher movie. It has more of that kind of darker look, a little bit greedier, but yeah, just to me, it just kind of, while I was watching this and looking at the 4K and everything, it just kind of made me think back to a lot of the 80s horror movies. And it's like, wow, watching it in 4K, just in my opinion, really gives it that kind of feel to it. Now, as far as sound goes, you have the DTS HD Master Audio. You also have Dolby Audio. Doesn't look like anything like Dolby Atmos, but unless there's something I'm missing here. But anyway, though, yeah, I really like the way it looks. Like I said, it definitely has more of a darker, not so polished, not so sleek kind of look. It has, pretty much a good horror movie vibe to it. And like I said, it definitely does, even though this movie is kind of a spoof, kind of a satire of 80s slasher movies and things like this. It definitely has that look and it has that vibe to it. At least when I watch on 4K, that's the way I feel about it. But we have this is a nice presentation. Admittedly, I didn't go for the steel book. I think at this point I was lucky just to find this. But one thing that really impressed me because I have to admit I had zero. I mean, I had such low expectations going into getting this. I thought that there was going to be nothing. I thought it was going to be absolutely bare bones, and it's just like, oh, come on, And I thought I didn't even think it was going to carry over the commentary, and I was definitely like, yeah, I'm still going to have to keep this, but I thought like, I admit I thought it was going to be kind of a waste of money, and I thought that in terms of the picture quality, I thought it wasn't going to be much of a it wasn't going to be much of a difference. I thought, any change in the picture quality is going to be very minimal and just not much. But I'm very happy. I'm glad to say I was wrong about it. And this is definitely, in my opinion, if you are a fan of this movie that is a huge, cult horror classic, it's, this redefined, well, not redefined it, but it definitely like rebirthed the horror genre in the 90s when it really needed a dose of adrenaline. This blockbuster film. And then, it does import the bonus features over from the Lionsgate Blu-ray. You get a new bonus feature on here, which is nice. You get A Bloody Legacy, Scream 25 years later, which obviously this is all because we have the new Scream movie coming out, which I'm sure I'll definitely watch. But, I do have to admit, like I said at the beginning of the video, I am a huge, huge Wes Craven fan, and I miss him. May he rest in peace. I miss all of those great movies he made, and it's like movies I love to go and watch, and just I really miss Wes Craven. I'm sad that he's gone. And like I said, I'll probably go watch the new Scream movie when it comes out. But just kind of like it does. It kind of tugs on my heart a little bit. I do miss Wes Craven. Also, speaking of which, you have the audio commentary by Wes Craven and writer Kevin Williamson, production featurette, behind the scenes, and Q&A with cast and crew. So they do import the bonus features over from the Lionsgate Blu-ray, which is nice. So that's the only problem though, is like I'm not entirely sure. I should have done my research on this. I'm not entirely sure if there were more bonus features on the Miramax Collector Series DVD of this. I don't remember. But, at least this has some bonus features on it. Because like I said, I thought this was going to be, oh boy, I thought this was going to be bare bones and just so minimal. And I was worried this was going to feel like a total waste of money, double dipping on, actually triple dipping on this because, I had it on DVD. Well, actually, this is quadruple dip because I bought it on VHS back in the day. Then I bought the DVD. Then I bought the Blu-ray. And now, as you've seen, I have it on Blu-ray. Now I got the 4K of it. So, I'm glad that I picked this up. I was worried this was going to be just kind of a worthless purchase, and I didn't even really realize that until I love that there, like ghost face reflected in her pupils. That's kind of cool. So, but I'm glad I picked this up, and I do feel like it is a worthy upgrade, and that was the thing, especially being from Paramount, of all things. I really had no really low expectations going into this. The only thing I'm kind of curious about is like, why is it that Paramount can take Scream and put that out on 4K, and from my understanding, they have the first Friday the 13th movies, which they own. They own 1 through 8, and the first 4 movies are remastered in 4K, ready to go. But they won't put that on 4K. But they'll take Scream and put it on 4K. Interesting. I guess if we're gonna get a 4K from Paramount, we'd have to wait until they make a new movie, whenever that'll be. But I have heard rumors that supposedly, like Scream Factory, when they're done with the Halloween movies, like what we got last month, when they're done with the Halloween movies, they are planning on working on the Friday the 13th movies, which I'm totally on board for that. I'd much rather get them from Scream Factory than I would Paramount. But still, also, so let's go ahead and look at this. And not much of a surprise. The only big surprise, though, is that, we get the clear case, and it's a Blu-ray case. And I don't understand that at all. And it's weird. I don't know why it's like this, but it is. But when you look at the disc art, it does say Ultra HD 4K. So that's kind of interesting, kind of weird. So yeah, probably what I'd be doing is here pretty soon I might be getting a 4K, order a 4K Blu-ray case to put this in, because this looks kind of silly, it being in a white Blu-ray case. But it is a 4K. But so we got that. Get a little bit of disc art here, and unfortunately no inside artwork. But you do get the digital code, and for you digital aficionados out there, in case if you do get your hands on a code, you will get, if you get a digital code from the 4K, you will get the UHD 4K version. So that's nice. So, but overall, yeah, just, so glad to finally get my hands on this, even though, like I said, I'm going to have to change this to a 4K case, but so glad to finally get my hands on this. I'm very happy with it. It is definitely a good release. You get bonus features and everything else. It was so much better than what I thought it was going to be, because like I said, I had no expectations. It looks great. It sounds great. I highly recommend it if you're a fan of this film. If you have 4K, you want to upgrade this baby, I definitely say go for it. And like I said, just to me, it kind of gives it a more kind of darker, because like I said, if you watch on Blu-ray or what, it's very bright, it's very polished looking. But this here, when they upgraded it to 4K, it's like they really bring up darker colors. And it definitely has that vibe of like an 80s slasher movie, which personally I like. I don't know, that's a matter of taste. But anyway, so yeah, I would definitely say if you get a chance, Scream on 4K, definitely pick it up. It's worth it. It's worth it. And get it for a good price too. I mean, this here was only, I only paid $22.99 for this. And like I said, I'm sorry I couldn't find the steel book, but I think as far as I was concerned, I was lucky just to see this, and so I grabbed it. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, Scream on 4K, I say definitely go ahead and pick it up. So that's it. If anybody took the time to watch this video, even though I'm sure there's probably already been like 10,000 videos at least made of this topic, if any of you have taken the time to watch this, I do thank you for it, and I appreciate you for it. I honestly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a like. If you haven't already, go and subscribe to my channel. And that's it, boils and ghouls. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.